Good morning. My name is Enzi Tanner, and I work for Lutheran Social Services as an outreach worker, as part of the outreach worker for Streetworks Collaborative. Um, Bob asked me to speak this morning with you all a little bit about homelessness in Minnesota, and I primarily work with homeless youth. In fact, I work with homeless youth unless I'm working with parents um, or people who are barely out of the youth age range. So, on any given night, there are over 2,500 youth who are homeless on any given night. And that is not just in the Twin Cities, that is statewide. Oftentimes, people believe the myth, and that's even including county workers who believe that homelessness is just in the Twin Cities. That is not the case. And there are which when people think that it becomes a problem, I've had county workers, when trying to work with youth in different counties, say that they don't have any homeless youth and they're not able to help the youth that I'm working with. I also want to speak about what that means. Oftentimes we try and put a face on homelessness, and this inevitably makes a part of the homeless population invisible, because anybody could be homeless. Homelessness doesn't have a face. It could be the person who we typically perceive as homeless, or it could be the person who wears the three-piece suit down the corner, or the kid who has a backpack who's dressed really nice and is sleeping under a bridge somewhere, or sleeping at a different friend's house every single night because they have nowhere else to go. So, what can you do about homelessness in Minnesota? There are some very basic things you could do as far as when you're not working, or as far as things that you can do just in general. I've at times encouraged people to carry socks, gloves, hats, coats, especially if you have a truck or a car, just basic hygiene kits. And not just going out and handing it to people you think are homeless, but if someone asks you for something, or even if you have bus tokens, offer them that. If someone asks for money for food, offer them to go inside with them and eat a meal with them, talk to them. This actually gives you an opportunity to minister to them. People are waiting to have their stories told, and oftentimes we avert our eyes from homeless people. And if you sit down and have a meal with a person for just 5-10 minutes, that can make a world of a difference in anyone's life. Just to know that they're being cared for and that they still matter. As far as youth are concerned, if you are in the Twin Cities and you are working with youth and you need resources, you can always call Streetworks. The Streetworks hotline is 612-879-5223. Again, that line is 612-879-5223. As far as the National Runaway Switchboard, so if you're working with a youth who's running away, or who's under the age of 18, a minor youth, or any youth in general, actually, you call the National Runaway Switchboard at 1-800-786-2929. And this is for adults now. The Hennepin County Shelter Line is 612-348-3007, and that's in Hennepin County. Finally, United Way, you could call from anywhere in the state of Minnesota. You could call 211 or 651-291-0211. And if you're calling from United Way, they could get you numbers and resources. It's like a one-stop shop. It's really helpful. Finally, I'm gonna give you a little information about a blog. There's a blog called Our Minnesota Streets, which is making the invisible visible. It's a blog about homeless youth in the state of Minnesota, not just the Twin Cities. And you could access that blog by going to ROURMN Streets STREETS dot tumblr tumble.com. So thank you for listening. I hope everyone has a blessed morning.